All right, this week's post with the most is actually two for one special because I know a lot of you are fixated on public speaking and paid and professional speaking. And so we're going to break down easy ways to put out that you are open to public speaking and collect, interest for your services in doing so. And one of these is one of my favorite follows on LinkedIn, Andy Storch. He is the author, speaker, podcaster, consultant, connector. He's written books, Own Your Career, Own Your Life. He has a really great podcast that just exceeded 10,000 downloads. And in his post, he shares of his journey writing his book and dreaming of giving paid keynote talks to inspire people to own their careers. He published in 2020 during the pandemic and at the start of his battle with cancer. So he had some hurdles that forced him to postpone this dream, but he never stopped believing and talking to people about it. Then he shares how a year ago he gave one of his first paid keynotes and that momentum has led to a variety of other paid speaking engagements, and how his first client came back and booked him, and how he's really on a roll now with his speaking. And he shares a photo of himself doing that speaking. So here's why this really works. He's not coming from a place of saying, oh, I'm such a great public speaker. He's sharing his journey into leaning into speaking, and in doing so, enrolling us in the process and sharing that, yes, this is very much a part of his business. So it's a great way for him to get people invested in what he's doing. Also, it underscores his brand message, which is about owning your career and owning your life. He's sharing how he owned a goal that he had in his career and how that has transpired. So that is number one, Andy Storch. Great example of how to use a post to promote public speaking. Now, along the same lines, we have a post from, clicked on her and not the post. Oh, please. Let's go back and see if we can't get into the post. All right, here we go. So this is Raven's post. She said, seeking the right speaker for your organization's Women History Month celebration in March. Check out my 2 program offerings designed to create sustainable chain and allyship for gender equality amongst your employees, members, and or customers. If either of these programs spark your interest, let's chat. Book a call with Team Raven by emailing info@Raven-Solomon or visiting her link. There are only a few dates available left for March, and we're booking well into 2022. Gender equality and inclusion is for everyone. Then she has this really gorgeous graphic featuring her 2 programs, and she's got really great reactions here. So why is this working? Well, number one, she's teeing a booker up for what it is she would be perfect for. A lot of us are waiting for meeting planners or conference organizers to connect the dots and figure out what we'd be perfect for. She is helping her audience connect those dots by saying it. Hey, are you looking for a speaker for Women's History Month? So she's setting them up to properly position her in their minds. She then leads into the 2 programs she's offering, which she details below. For women, closing the generational gap amongst us. For supporters of women, how to be an ally. So she's also leading with her products and services. A very fundamental thing a speaker can do is to share their talk topics and the benefits the audience will receive in hearing them. Again, when we don't do this, we're putting it on a meeting planner or conference organizer to have some ethereal idea of what kind of value that we would provide. She also ends by giving them a very strong call to action, her audience that is, and creating a bit of scarcity. Hey, look, I'm booked and busy. I'm booking out. This is a big thing I do for a living. So those are the 2 posts the most. Let's recap what we can learn from them. Number 1, you got to put it out there that you speak. Number 2, don't be afraid to share the program talks and titles and the takeaways of those talks and titles to your audience. You are helping someone decide to hire you to speak when you do that. Don't be afraid to share your journey to public speaking. You lead with inspiration while also enrolling people in hiring you to do so. And add some scarcity to it. Hey, look, much like growing a business, only have a certain amount of bandwidth for speaking engagements, and I'm booking up quickly. When you do these things, I guarantee that you will start to see interest that you haven't seen before. You just got to let people know that you're open to it. And that is the biggest mistake I see public speakers making all the time. They're not forthcoming and reminding people that they do this for a living. Remember, 6 to 7 impressions minimum to form an association. Say what you're going to say it, and remind them what you said. And when it comes to speaking, remind them all the time that you're open for business.